Morning, guys. Just an early morning thought on the Path to Healing series that I'm hoping to make more of a regular occurrence on this channel. And before I go on, I hope you're well. It's a thought that's been rolling around in my noggin for a few days, a few weeks possibly. When you go through a big change in your life, and it can be anything really. It can be buying a house, buying a car. Probably not so. That's normally accompanied by feelings of euphoria, in my experience anyway. But buying a house, changing a relationship, a major relocation, a new pregnancy. It could be any big major event in your life. Sometimes or a bereavement. Most commonly a bereavement. Let's talk about bereavement. You go through the sharpness of it, you go through the pain and the stabbing hurt of it. And then some days you get odd spikes of euphoria, which you don't quite completely understand, but you run with because it's almost like a pause button on grief, isn't it? It gives you headspace. But then what I want to talk about is the limbo days. The limbo days. Are they indifference? Are they numbness or avoidance? Or are they just simply straight up, which seems to be the overwhelming feeling, confusion? Those of you that know, you will understand what I'm getting at. You think about a situation and sometimes it stabs and it hurts. You think about a situation and sometimes you feel release and peace. And at points, euphoria and happiness and extreme spikes of joy that you feel you're recovering, you're getting better. It could be anything, okay? It's path to healing, it's general. But then, because they're fluctuating, aren't they, like the weather, it's never sort of linear. You don't go, this is going to happen, then this will happen, then you'll feel this, then you'll feel this. It doesn't quite work like that. It's a bit like a tangled ball of wool that a kitten's been playing with, and the more you try to analyse it, the tighter the knot gets. But it's when you were aware of your feelings and you own them and you understand them, and it's like, okay, today I've had a really bad day. My dry, you'll have to excuse me. Or today I've had a really good day. But then there's days where you just think, what actually happened? How is that? And the thing is, it makes you question your own reality. It makes you question your own sanity. And then sometimes you feel like you're completely mad because it makes you question whether any of it happened at all, any of it actually existed, and do you actually even exist? And then that's when you start driving yourself mad, because then you start doubting your own sanity. So you talk about the joy and you talk about heartbreak, but what about the limbo in between? I know I'm not alone in thinking this. Sorry, excuse me. Children's handbags, autumn. The confusion, the being suspended in between, the not understanding or comprehending. You know what's gone on, but how and why? And why did you not pick up on it? And how did you not see it coming? And could you have done anything to stop it? And sometimes, I'm going to say this, the only answer you have running around in your head is, what the actual fuck? Because that is still suspended in mid mind space. I don't think it's numbness. There's an element of feeling numb to it, but I think it's mainly confusion and questioning. And it doesn't mean you're mad, because the brain is a very complex instrument. But it's another stage of bereavement and grief that people don't talk about. When someone dies, if they have an illness or they're old or something like that, that generally doesn't tend to come in because it's a natural ending. It's a confirmed explanation, so to speak. They were ill, or they were old, or they had that accident and that's why that happened. But when other things happen and you've not been privy to information of the other party and exactly what's gone on in their noggin, I think that's when your two-way channel of energy and communication is not there, is it? And I think there's the confusion. And your intuition can tell you many things to a point. It can warn you of things that are going to happen, and it's never wrong. And it can guide you in directions you're supposed to go, and it's wonderful at that. But where it falls short, and it does, is sometimes it doesn't explain why. And I think that's part of our healing journey, and that we need to understand why and how. That's important for closure, I think, for all of us. And one thing I am going to say is we all play out conversations in our head with the source to say, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that, I'm going to find this. Then maybe they'll say this, maybe they'll say that. It will never bring you closure because the situation you're in is less than pleasing anyway. So I would probably almost guarantee you're never going to get the complete answers that are going to give your soul peace. The only way you're going to give your soul peace is for you to work through this confusion, numbness, what the actual fuck vibe in your head, and come to peace with yourself. Forgive yourself. Try and make sense of yourself. I don't mean denial and telling yourself something that paves over it, that makes you feel better. Okay, it's nothing wrong with reassuring yourself, but you must be honest about it, okay, because obviously it's just going to bite you on the bum a bit further down the line. But the confusion and the questioning yourself and the thinking you're absolutely crazy, and most times you're probably not, you're just a sentient being with emotions and feelings, and that's okay, that is okay. But the confusion, the why, the how, the when, that's only closure that you can find. So those of you that want to go back to past energies to try and find your closure, I probably think the best, most confirmed, most reliable closure is within yourself. And not only will it bring closure within yourself, but the method that you find in your healing and the closure within yourself will serve you best for further situations that may or may not occur in your life. No situation is the same, no person is the same, but your energy remains the same and you remain the same, and you will always be you. And no matter what situation you may face in your life, you're always going to be with you, aren't you? There's your one constant, there's your one consistency. So your closure comes from within you. It ain't easy. Things worth having aren't easy, but that's part of your shadow work and part of your healing. And I only meant to do a 3-minute clip on this. I've been running on for almost 9 minutes, but it's been running around in my noggin for probably too long, and it keeps coming forth. So it clearly needs to be spoken about. So if any of you can resonate, you're not mad. You haven't lost the plot. This is part of your healing and part of your extra shadow work. How much of an upheaval it may seem, but you must run with it. You must think about it. Don't drive yourself mad. Don't overthink. But unpick it. Unpick it? Yes, unpick it and unpack it carefully, meticulously. Look at it objectively on all sides. And you may not get a confirmed answer as to what was going on in that situation or that person's head. But if you can at least make peace with it, it's got to be a win, isn't it? My thoughts for today. I'll try and get some readings out later, but I had to get that out there. And I hope that's brought some clarity to some of you. Take care of yourself. And you're always in my thoughts. Guys, you're an awesome community, and thank you very much for your support. Really, I do. Have a lovely day. Bye.